Okay. So, like, everyone's on social media these days, right? But do we actually know how it works? I mean, like, what we see, who we connect with?
Right. We kind of take it for granted.
Totally. So that's what we're digging into today. This article, How Social Media Algorithms Control Our Lives. Heavy stuff.
Yeah, it really gets you thinking. It's like we think of these platforms as just, places to connect, share stuff.
Yeah, totally neutral.
Exactly. But this article is like, hold on, there's this whole other layer.
The algorithms.
Yeah, these crazy complex computer programs always analyzing, predicting, trying to figure out what'll keep you scrolling.
So it's not just about me connecting with my friends. It's about keeping me on the app.
You got it. The longer you're there, the more ads they can show you. It's all connected.
Makes sense, I guess.
Hmm.
But how does it work? Like, how do they know what I want to see?
Okay, so picture this. Every comment, every video you watch, it all feeds into this profile they build of you.
So they're watching everything.
Not watching exactly, but tracking. Like say you're really into, I don't know, like baking videos.
Oh, yeah, guilty.
See, the algorithm is going to be like, okay, more baking for this one, and your feed becomes super personalized.
So if I'm like always liking political posts, my feed's going to be more political.
Bingo. That's where we get into filter bubbles, which
Mm.
is a whole other can of worms.
The filter bubbles, I've heard of that, but explain it like I'm 5.
Basically, the algorithm's so good at figuring you out that it starts showing you mainly stuff that already aligns with your
So
beliefs.
instead of like opening my mind, it's kind of closing it off.
Potentially, yeah. It can make you feel like everyone agrees with you because that's all you're seeing.
Whoa, that's kind of scary.
Right.
Right.
Like imagine someone who mostly sees content supporting, I don't know, a certain political party.
Like,
They might end up in this echo chamber, never even exposed to the other side's arguments.
that makes me think of that comment, Braxton Mayer from the article about how this stuff could even be influencing like big life decisions.
Oh, yeah, Braxton's point was super interesting. He was talking about parents and education, right?
Yeah, like maybe algorithms are pushing some parents towards homeschooling just because they're getting a skewed view of traditional schools.
It's like the online world is shaping the real world in ways we might not even realize.
Makes you think. But then you've got like Adeline also in the comments totally pushing back on that whole algorithms control us thing.
Right. Adeline's like, hold up, we're not robots. We still make our own choices.
She brought up those Yahoo as proof. People are looking for all sorts of stuff, not just what some algorithm tells them to.
Yeah, like algorithms are powerful, but we're not totally at their mercy.
Right, we have agency. And I mean, Adeline's right. Even traditional schools are on social media using algorithms. It's not just one system or the other.
Exactly. It's more complex than that. It's about recognizing the influence these algorithms have everywhere.
So we're not totally helpless,
Mm,
but we do need to be aware of how this stuff works.
100%. And awareness is just the first step because these filter bubbles, they have some other consequences too, not just shaping our opinions.
Like what? Spill the tea. What else should we be worried about?
It's like if all you see are opinions that match your own, you start to think that's how everyone feels.
Right. And then you get those nasty comment sections, everyone yelling at each other.
Exactly. That lack of empathy, understanding, it spills over from online into real life. That's a
Yep.
big concern with these filter bubbles.
It's not just about being stuck in an echo chamber online. It's like that echo chamber follows you around.
Exactly. And then there's the whole emotional manipulation thing. Remember how these algorithms are designed to keep us glued to our phones?
Oh, yeah. The longer we scroll, the more money they make.
Right. So one way they do that is by showing us content that triggers strong emotions.
Like those clickbait headlines, you won't believe what happened next.
Exactly. Those get your attention, make you feel something, right? Outrage, anxiety.
Totally. I fall for it every time.
And the algorithm sees you clicking. So it's like, okay, this person likes being riled up. Let's give them more of that.
So it's like a cycle of negativity.
Yeah.
Makes sense for them, but not so much for us.
And that raises some ethical questions. Are we being manipulated into consuming stuff that's bad for us just because it keeps us engaged?
That's a good question. It's like we want to stay informed, but we also don't want to be constantly bombarded with like bad news.
Right. It's a balancing act.
Yeah.
And we need to figure out as individuals and as a society what kind of online world we want to live in.
We can't let these companies just like control everything.
Yeah.
Oh, this reminds me of Elijah Gallagher's comment. He was joking about how the algorithm will be like, here's some outrage mixed with cat videos.
Yeah, I saw that. It's funny, but also kind of true. Even when we try to look for like lighthearted stuff, the algorithm can still sneak in those emotionally charged elements.
There's no escape. But we can't just give up, right? There's got to be something we can do to take back control.
There is. And it starts with awareness, like we've been talking about. Once you know how the game works, you can start playing it smarter.
Okay, I'm listening. What are the moves?
So you can be more selective about who you follow, what content you engage with, basically curate your own online experience.
Like, if I'm sick of politics, I can unfollow those accounts and follow more, I don't know, like travel bloggers or funny animal pages.
Exactly. You have the power to create your own digital world. And don't forget about those settings menus. A lot of platforms let you customize your feed, prioritize certain people, even limit the kinds of ads you see.
Oh, so I can, like, block those weird targeted ads that are way too specific.
You got it. It's about taking charge, not letting the algorithm make all the decisions.
I like it. But it can't just be on individuals, right? Like, the companies need to do their part too.
Absolutely. We need more transparency from them, more accountability for how these algorithms are affecting us.
So we got to push for regulations, policies, all that good stuff.
Exactly. It's about collective action, making sure the online world is a place that, benefits everyone, not just the big tech companies.
Okay, I'm feeling fired up now. We can do this.
That's the spirit. And it's not all doom and gloom. Social media can still be a force for good, for connection, learning. But we got to make sure it's used responsibly.
This conversation has given me a lot to think about. It's easy to get caught up in the scrolling and forget about the bigger picture.
That's why these conversations are so important. We got to keep talking about it, keep asking questions, keep pushing for a better online world.
Yeah, it's like we went down the rabbit hole, all those algorithms working behind the scenes.
Seriously. But hey, at least now we know, right? Knowledge is power, like they say.
So true. But okay, let's make this practical. Say someone's listening and they're like, whoa, I feel totally overwhelmed by all this. What advice would you give them?
Well, the article had this cool idea. Like, imagine you could design the algorithm. What would you prioritize? What would your perfect feed look like?
Ooh, that's a good one. Less politics for sure. More like cute animal stuff. Maybe some travel inspo, get me
No.
dreaming.
See, you're already taking control. And the best part is you don't just have to imagine it. Go into your settings. Most platforms have ways to tweak things.
Really. So I can choose what I see, who I hear from. I'm not just stuck with whatever they decide.
Exactly. You can change your notifications, mute those accounts that are always stressing you out, even bump up your favorite people so you see them more.
It's like I'm Marie Kondoing my social media, getting rid of all the clutter, keeping only the good vibes.
Love that. And just like decluttering your house, it can make you feel so much lighter, less overwhelmed.
So it's not about quitting social media entirely. It's about using it in a way that actually makes you happy.
Exactly. And being mindful, right? Remembering that there's a whole world out there beyond the screen.
Right. Got to go outside, talk to real people, experience things firsthand. Can't forget about that.
Couldn't agree more. Social media is a tool and it can be awesome, but it's not the whole picture.
Man, we covered a lot of ground today, from the nitty-gritty of how algorithms work to the big philosophical questions about how it's shaping us.
Totally. And hopefully our listeners are walking away with a better understanding, feeling a little more empowered.
I know I am. It's like I used to just scroll mindlessly, but now I'm going to be way more conscious about what I'm engaging with.
That's what it's all about. And remember, this conversation doesn't end here. Keep asking questions. Keep pushing for a better online world.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Well, folks, that wraps up our deep dive into the wild world of social media algorithms. We hope you learned a thing or two and maybe even feel a little more in control of your online life. Until next time, stay curious, stay critical, and hey, maybe treat yourself to some cute animal pics while you're at it.